There's just so much.
You're listening to a Mamamia podcast.
Mamamia acknowledges the traditional owners of land and waters that this podcast is recorded on. Hello and welcome to Cancelled, the podcast that looks at silly celebrity crimes and assigns charges and sentences to them so we can all move on with our lives. I'm Claire Stevens and I'm joined by
Jessie Stevens.
And Jessie, do you have a lazy girl story for us today?
I have two.
Okay.
Can I
That's
just bring
very
two? unlazy girl?
I know. Actually, no, it is lazy because what you've
it's
done is you haven't edited yourself.
I've not synthesized.
No.
Synthesized.
Condensed. You've gone, I've got two. I don't have
Can't
time
choose.
to make the decision.
No.
Yeah.
Are they related? No.
No.
This is your job to find a common theme.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no. Yeah. What's interesting is that the real lazy girl thing to do would be save one of them for next time. But lazy girls don't have that kind of foresight. Okay, go.
I don't have a system. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll just never remember.
Okay.
Lazy girl story. Inspired by my lazy girl story.
Mhm.
Remember the one I told about the broken laptop?
Yes.
So many people were like,
The MacBook,
I had a broken laptop key and all I did was copy and paste the letter A for
Yeah.
4 to 8 years, right?
Yeah. Exclamation marks, hashtag.
Yeah. Happens all the time.
Mm.
A few years ago, I was partway through my uni degree and my laptop screen stopped working. Been there. So I could turn it on. I just couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
I felt like I should be a grown up and get it repaired. Also, she wanted all the things on it. She had uni assignments and stuff. So I found a local IT guy. I dropped the laptop off at his shop with the instruction that he either fix it or back up the files. Claire, what do you think happened from there?
Oh, she never went and picked it up.
She didn't pick it up.
No, lazy girl.
She's a lazy girl.
Oh, I feel like I know the shop. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
I've been to that tech shop
And that guy just has everyone's
and
laptop.
that guy has everyone's
He never
laptops
called?
and phones. Yeah.
He never called. And so she
Oh,
said,
no, he probably did. It was probably just a number she didn't recognize.
she didn't recognize it was a no caller ID. And she said, I just let him have it. And eventually I just bought a new laptop.
Yeah. Okay.
Being a lazy girl, the lazy girl tax.
Mm.
Today, don't tell Luca this, but today I was at the zoo. Very unlazy girl. But I could have got half price parking if I validated my ticket.
Mm.
Oh, no. Paid full price for that one.
Lazy girl.
She's a lazy girl. Second lazy girl story. Okay. This just goes on a little bit of a tangent, but it's the ultimate lazy girl story. Basically, 3 school kids found a deceased person on a train station bench on the way to school.
Holy shit.
The school sent multiple emails out to the parent and carer community, and she's actually sent a screenshot of what they sent out because it was like, they could be traumatized. I'm writing to inform you about an unfortunate incident that took place near our community. Really upsetting for school children. Then what happened was the following day, a local news story broke. And it said, Moreton City News would like to clarify a post made yesterday afternoon regarding a letter sent to the principal, blah, blah, blah. The email was inaccurate. Subsequently, Queensland Ambulance Services were called and it was established that the person on the bench was simply asleep.
I feel like that's something that happened to me. We've stumbled across a dead body because it's like I wouldn't be roused.
No. It's a deep sleep.
Couldn't be it's
We've
like,
all had a
it's like
deep
you
sleep.
check the heartbeat, no heartbeat. She's not breathing. She's not breathing. We've tried to push her. It's like it was a nice day. The sun can really get you to sleep sometimes. Lazy girl.
She's a lazy girl.
It was a nap.
A hard nap. Sometimes you get tired and you think, I'll just have a lay down on a bench.
Okay, so they're your 2 lazy girl stories.
They're my 2 lazy girl stories.
Absolutely no thematic link.
No, except that they were sent around the same time.
Okay, thank you.
That's okay.
Well, in today's episode, we're talking about a show that had a lot of lazy writing,
Okay.
and that is Gossip Girl.
Hey, Upper East Siders, Gossip Girl here, and I have the biggest news ever.
Gossip Girl was a teen drama series that went for 6 seasons. And I would say that's approximately 4
seasons?
many.
Yeah, right.
Yes. It started in 2007 and it revolved
We were in year
around
11?
Year 11,
Mm.
yeah. And so year 12, everyone was like, I'm Serena,
I'm
Blair.
And you were Serena if you were blonde.
yeah.
And you were Blair if you were brunette.
Yes. And if you were a bit weird, you were Jenny.
Hard relate. And everyone's like, oh my God, my boyfriend looks like Chuck.
And it's
It's
like,
like, no, he doesn't though.
he looks like a a weedy man trying to dress in a business suit. It revolved around a group of rich teenagers going to fancy schools on the Upper East Side of New York City. So I'm going to say the characters and who played them, and you give me vibe.
Okay.
Just
Because I
vibe.
reckon I've watched half of 4 episodes of this show. I
Oh!
never watched Gossip
Should have checked that before I brought this
No,
in.
but I've got a strong vibe.
Yeah, no,
because I
definitely,
consumed the culture.
I definitely had a depressing weekend where I watched the whole thing.
I think that because I knew I wasn't a rich Upper East Side,
You couldn't
lady,
relate?
I couldn't relate. I was just sitting there like, nah, well, I'll just watch Round the Twist.
Have you ever felt like this? How strange things happen? Are you going round your twist?
Like something that I could really relate
Okay,
with.
well, I want vibe.
Okay.
I want vibe from somebody who knows very little. Blake Lively plays Serena Vander Woodson.
I'm not taking anything from you, Blair. I was invited. And as for taking me down, I'd love to see you try.
What do you think, Serena?
Oh, I mean, you should never use this word, especially as a feminist. But was she a slut?
She's a slut and she knows it. She wants to root all the boys.
Yes.
Yeah, bit of a
Okay,
slut. Yeah.
Okay. I think she took herself quite seriously. She had a thing with Dan, otherwise known as Joe, from that stalker show.
Yeah.
What's it called?
You.
You. Joe from You. And she had great hair, and it was weird that she was in school because she was 28.
Yeah. Another
And
thing.
8 foot.
Yeah, 8 foot tall, yes. The other thing about Serena is that she was like a bit of a bad girl. So she was always drinking, and there is this scene that has gone viral on TikTok that's like, is this the cringiest thing that ever happened on Gossip Girl? And it's her taking a shot in like a dorm room, and she's like, woo! But she's the only one drinking, and someone's doing an assignment for her, and she's like, get me a B+. And she's dancing to Soulja Boy. And she's trying to dance sexy to Soulja Boy, and it's like, no,
That feels culturally like, I don't know, offensive.
Well, no, it's just inaccurate because it's like if Soulja Boy came on, you would do the Soulja Boy dance.
Everyone knew
You
the Soulja
don't
Boy
dance sexy to Soulja Boy.
No.
Serena.
You don't slut drop to it. You do the dance,
Yeah.
the Soulja Boy dance. We loved a messy bad girl because it was kind of Serena and, relatedly, Misha Barton from the OC.
Yes.
And she
the
was always
blonde
just
one-
passed out.
The
Just
blonde
like,
one always had addiction
Yeah.
issues. Then there was Leighton Meester who played Blair Waldorf.
Yeah, she had a singing career. She had that one song that time.
It was quite good.
How did it go?
It was catchy. It was like bad. She was a bad girl. Was she in prison?
Okay, let me find it.
She's a naughty girl.
Oh, it was featuring Leighton Meester, however you say
It's
it.
only her flat
Feet.
voice that I can hear.
Feet. And it went,
Good girls go bad.
good girls go bad.
Make them good girls go bad. I make them good girls go. Them good girls go bad.
That was the whole
Bad.
song.
It was so good. And then she stopped. She did stop.
She was in the club. She did that song.
Yeah.
But Blair Waldorf, what was your vibe of Blair?
Was she into Chuck?
Yeah.
Rich, bit bratty, more together than Serena, and definitely shorter.
Yeah. Shorter, brunette, smarter.
Shiny
I
hair.
think Blair was obsessed with going to Columbia. It was all she talked about. And I just love Americans' arrogance that we all know the schools that they care about.
Can you
going
imagine
to.
we write a show and we're like, I really want to get into Macquarie
Uni.
to do arts. And it's like, what is anyone talking about? Where is it? Where is Macquarie University? Well, it's in Macquarie.
Near the shopping centre.
Ice skating rink where teenagers hang out.
Anyway, Blair ended up being with Chuck, but
Yeah.
at first she was with Nate.
Oh, I forgot about Nate.
And she was like the ringleader of the cool group of girls who would sit on the stairs.
Yes.
Pretend you're well bred and be polite.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I've walked past those stairs. I've been like, bless up there.
Yeah. Then there was Penn Badgley who played Dan Humphreys.
Mm.
Do you think that Joe in You is just a continuation of
Yeah.
Dan?
Yeah, I do. And I do think he's handsome, actually. I think he's become more handsome. Yeah, because he didn't have a lot of facial hair in Gossip Girl, and I think that he's become more handsome as he's gone on.
Yeah, he's handsome in a nerdy way.
Mm.
Anyway, then there's Ed Westwick who played Chuck Bass.
I'm Chuck Bass.
What was your vibe on Chuck?
He was bad. Was he a bit rapey?
Oh, yeah. No, very rapey.
Yeah, I didn't have a good vibe from him. Very kind of Polo Ralph Lauren, like college
And had
shirt.
like a weird sneer.
Yeah, and again, it was like, oh, that man's actually 36.
Yeah.
Which is why I shouldn't be at a school.
Then there was Nate Archibald,
Yeah.
played by Chase Crawford. What do you think of Nate?
He was kind of vanilla.
Wait, what?
Yeah, boring as fuck.
really, really boring.
So
And it's
boring.
like, what's happened to your career? You
Yeah.
know, like Penn Badgley, bad whatever. He went on to be Joe.
Because this is where I had to be. Exactly where I had to be to meet you.
And, you know, Leighton Meister had her feet song.
Yeah.
As in FT, not about her feet.
yeah.
I mean, obviously the star of the show is
Blake Lively,
Blake Lively.
has become Blake Lively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Chuck and Nate, we've got some question marks
Yeah.
there about our life since.
We didn't. Yeah.
Capitalise.
Speaking of lazy girls.
Yes.
We didn't. We
We
didn't
rested
go
on our laurels.
Yeah. There was also Jenny, who we'll get to.
Loved Jenny. Love me some black eyeliner.
It felt a lot like it wanted to be the OC, except in New York.
Yeah.
Given that it was basically two beautiful female leads,
Mm.
one who was blonde and one who was brunette.
Yep.
The blonde one was more troubled. But in hindsight, Gossip Girl was cringe and problematic. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into the later seasons because it lost its way. And let's
And
be
for
real.
that, we can't hold it accountable.
No, and we all stopped watching at
Yeah,
some point.
yeah.
But my structure...
Yeah, no one watched that last episode.
Yeah, I mean, we know that Dan's Gossip Girl, spoiler.
Yeah, I
But-
just read that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't think we made it that far. But my structure for today is as follows. Firstly, the uniforms. Secondly, when Chuck tried to sexually assault Jenny and Serena in literally the first episode.
No, that's not funny.
When everyone hung out at bars during high school and Chuck owned one, even though he couldn't legally drink.
Mm-hmm.
A dead man who comes back to life.
No.
Bizarre career trajectories. Hilary Duff. And Dan being Gossip Girl.
Okay.
Jesse, the uniforms. I need you to look at these photos and just tell me what you see.
I mean, that's simply not a uniform.
What do you see?
So what I see is Blair is in sort of like it's a white shirt with a black little tie, but then she's got a pink headband and like a red dress, whereas Jenny is in like a yellow trench coat. Serena has a long Avril Lavigne tie on.
Yeah.
And they've had their hair blow dried and styled. And none of this is how uniforms work.
No, God, no. My problem with the uniforms
Tartan skirt as well.
is inconsistency, lack of respect,
Mm.
creative license.
Uh-huh.
If there is a uniform at this school, can you imagine how much the other students are complaining that Serena is disobeying the uniform rules? And
Why have a uniform?
no, if you're just going to abuse it. But can you imagine the kinds of uniform infringements that teachers had to deal with once this show launched?
You know the school we went to,
Yeah.
right? We'd walk around, they'd say, Jesse, the back of your shoe's missing because your dog ate it. Get new shoes. And I'd say, I've only got a year and a half left.
And they'd say, where's your blazer? And I say, I left it on the bus 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We're past that.
Jesse, you've got a big red paint mark. Well, I can't buy a new shirt. Like that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
And uniform, your shirt's out, all that kind of stuff. And teachers did that. I learned the other day that at private schools, not all private schools, one private school,
Mm.
has something called sarges, like sergeants,
Mm.
whose job it is to go around and discipline them. So at Gossip Girl school, they would walk around and they'd go, Serena, hair back, tie off,
No nail polish.
kilt down, no nail polish. I don't know what you've done with your hair, but tie it back with a ribbon and take off your makeup.
It's just unclear because it's like if you don't have a uniform,
That's
fine. But if you do have a uniform, this isn't how it works.
This isn't how it works. And it's like a uniform is meant to be democratizing.
No.
And I remember at our school, it became very do your buttons up, tuck your shirt in because it was Blair Waldorf.
Yeah. You can't just wear, if you're Serena, you can't just wear a transparent white t-shirt and a discarded men's tie and say that's your uniform. Look at this. Look at this image.
she was troubled.
She was troubled.
She was troubled. And I mean, she's so edgy with
And
a tie on.
Then, when they graduated from high school, I want you to describe what you see in this image.
Okay, so Blair has her, I mean, that's what I wore when I graduated uni, right? What do you
Mhm.
call it? Like the hat with the tassel on it. But what Serena's done because she's so fashion forward is she's not got the hat, she's just got the tassel.
And
As like a hair feather, like attached to the root.
she's cut the tassel, discarded of the hat, and clipped it into her hair.
Oh my God.
Absolutely not, Serena. You can't graduate
That's not
like
how
that.
it works. You can't throw it in the air.
It just does not work like that.
You can't hold me responsible for everything bad in your life.
I can, because you are.
Jesse. When Chuck tried to sexually assault Jenny and Serena in literally the first episode.
Okay, so this is why I've got a
Rapey
salty vibe. Yeah.
It's September 19, 2007, the date of Gossip Girl's premiere episode. And we meet the newest cultural heartthrob. An attempted rapist who tries to force not one, but two women to have sex with him. This is what happens. In a conversation with Nate, Chuck says of Serena,
Serena looked effing hot last night. There's something wrong with that level of perfection. It needs to be violated.
That's disgusting.
no,
No.
absolutely not.
The thing is, okay, if he's the villain. What was
Yes.
weird was it's like he says that and then it's like, I'm sorry, is he cast as the heartthrob?
Yeah, they forgot that they made him the villain in episode 1.
Yeah.
Then Serena is drowning her sorrows at the Palace Hotel bar after a fight with Blair. And
Because
it's
she's like 17 even.
She's literally 16 years old.
Okay. And drinking age is 21. So obviously she's got an alcohol problem.
Yeah. Chuck's dad owns the hotel. So yeah, he can get her a toasted sandwich.
How about a grilled cheese with truffle oil? You do love truffles.
He gets her a toasted sandwich. Which feels very immature.
And not very premium.
No. It's like, I don't know, get me the pasta.
Get one of those from the servo.
Yeah. He then pushes her up onto a stainless steel counter and gropes her, even though she said no multiple times. Eventually, she kicks him in the balls.
Okay.
But that hasn't discouraged him from being a predator. He just goes looking for his next prey.
And the message here might have been, I mean, Serena's an alcoholic,
Mm.
you know? So maybe Gossip Girl was going, no, Chuck isn't a villain. Serena's an alcoholic and she must learn.
Oh.
Which was very of the time.
It was
very
of
of
the
the
time.
2007 messaging, which is victim blaming.
Well, 10 minutes later, in the same episode, Chuck is back at it with Jenny Humphrey, who is 14 and not drinking.
Oh.
He takes her up to the rooftop,
Uh-huh.
offers her champagne.
Wait, so the 14-year-old is also in the bar.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. She is 6-7 years off legal drinking
Okay,
age.
cool.
And it's like, how did he get champagne? Because Chuck is also underage. And luckily, Dan and Serena barge in on Chuck, pinning Jenny against a wall.
Lucky.
When Dan confronts Chuck, he's like, it's a party. These things happen. And it's like, is this a party or is this children playing at your dad's hotel? Because that's what it feels like. Then Chuck calls Serena a slut. And it's like, why is this your leading man? And he's not even meant to be a villain.
He's not. He's meant to be hot.
It's really strange. They made him out to be a literal serial criminal in the first episode. And then a few episodes later, it's like, and we're pining for him.
Where he's a
Sexy
heartthrob
boy.
for Blair.
Inconsistent expectations.
Sexy boy. And the weird thing is that later in the show, Jenny loses her virginity to Chuck, the man who attempted to rape her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I missed that.
Yeah, no, that didn't feel right. Jesse, when everyone hung out at bars during high school, and Chuck owned one, even though he couldn't legally drink. In season 1, Chuck Bass buys a burlesque club. He's a high school student. And
You'd need a license.
well, I guess his dad, who owns Bass Industries,
Yeah.
might have a license. But who the hell allows a teenager to buy a club they technically cannot enter?
It feels like something Justin Bieber's done.
Yeah, it just ain't right. But, you know, that was season 1. And maybe the writers were warming up.
Yeah.
They were making
Yeah.
some weird decisions. They were throwing shit at a wall and
Yeah.
they were seeing what stuck.
Mm.
And
Which
a little,
was Chuck's hot.
yeah, a
Mm.
little absurdity in a plotline, forgivable. But then it happens again.
Okay.
In season 3, Chuck has only just finished high school when he inherits money from his father and uses it to buy a club. The legal drinking age in the US is 21, and this guy still cannot legally enter the venue he owns. Please.
So how old is he by season 3? Maybe like
18?
Okay.
Still cannot have a
No.
drink. It's not just owning these venues, though, because why does Chuck talk and act like that?
Yeah.
He's like a 40-year-old
Old
businessman.
man. Yeah. He's quite jaded.
Yeah.
And it's like, you've not experienced much. Aren't you playing a bit of team soccer? Like, what have you
Yeah.
really experienced?
He's all cynical and like, "Mrr, mrr, mrr, mrr,
yeah,
mrr."
and he like has a cigar and slippers on, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh my God, you are 18.
It's okay, mate.
Don't you have exams?
I just want someone to be like, you're a teenager. Please relax your face and take off your suit. Take off your suit. Where are you
Nothing
going?
worse than a teenager in a suit.
No. You all look like little boys playing
dressed up as men, and
Yes.
they're too long in the pant and too short in the arms, and it makes you look poor. And so Chuck wearing a suit on a Tuesday, it's pretentious, it's ugly. Yeah, if I went on a date with someone in year 11 and they turned up in a suit
And loafers.
I'd go, yeah, it's a no, thank you.
It's an ick. I want his dad to be like, shouldn't you be ice skating or 10-pin bowling or something?
Yeah.
Go do an age-appropriate activity.
What were we doing? Going to the
Playing
movies.
The Sims.
Yeah.
Playing Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Get on MSN Messenger, have a chat.
Normal.
Yeah.
Normal things.
Do drive through McDonald's.
It's a lot of fun. Just a dead man who comes back to life.
Yeah.
Speaking
It's like the Lazy Girl story.
oh my God,
Oh my
it is.
God, there's our thematic link.
There's our thematic link. Speaking of Chuck's dad, Bart Bass dies in season 2. At the end of the
R.I.P..
season, he dies in a car accident. It's quite central to the plotline because he leaves Lily, who's Serena's mum, an important voicemail moments before the crash, and he leaves his business, Bass Industries, to Chuck. Now, do characters in TV shows and movies disproportionately die in car accidents? Yes, absolutely. But by Gossip Girl standards, Bart's death, semi-believable. I was like, fine. Not enough car accidents, actually.
Yeah.
I believe this one. That's until it turns out he's not actually dead. Because in season 5,
No,
so
that's
2
too long.
full seasons
So
have
we've
passed.
forgotten.
We've forgotten. We're like, we've grieved.
We've grieved and we've moved on.
Blair walks into a room and sees Bart.
Oh, and then you go, no, don't get all ghosty on me. Don't get ghosty.
Don't get ghosty. It's not the show. Chuck investigates, and it turns out that, yes, his father is actually very much alive.
Dad. Oh my God.
Rats.
Bart explains that he had to fake his own
For
death
tax purposes.
to stop something to do with oil trading, blah, 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 Sudan, blah, 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 killing his entire family, blah, blah, blah.
So the car accident was real.
I was lucky to survive it. But it wasn't an accident. I'd been threatened.
By who?
A very powerful competitor of mine.
When he went to hospital after the car crash, he simply paid the doctor to pronounce him dead. Easy peasy.
It's just not
Can you
something
imagine if you
that's
went to
happened.
hospital and you were like, can you just write me a death certificate? What?
What? Where are you going?
The medical system is overrun.
And you're wasting my time. Where are you hiding? Where was he hiding? So he did have a car accident. He just didn't
See,
die.
that's what actually makes me so
Well, that's
mad,
convenient.
because there's so many problems with
Imagine
the
if you
plotline.
had to fake your own death and then you got into a legitimate car accident.
Exactly. What are the chances that you're in a completely random and horrible car crash when it was actually quite convenient for you to die? And also, can you live for a number of years apparently being dead? How about money? You
Yeah,
gave
you
it all
can't
to
use a credit
Chuck.
card.
You have nowhere to live.
Does he have cash in garbage bags?
I don't know. But the thing about a character returning who's meant to be dead is that it's like double jeopardy in that they can die again and it's like meh because everyone thought they were dead anyway.
Yeah, the stakes are very low.
For them
And then when they
dying.
die, it's like Jack in a Box. Like, are you going to come back next episode?
So
You can't
Bart's,
play with us like that.
Bart's return doesn't last long. He wrestles the reins of Bass Industries away from Chuck, plans to have him killed, and it's like there's been enough grief and death in this family. But then Bart topples off the side of a Manhattan skyscraper, and that story is donezo.
Give me your hand. You know, I'm all talk. I would never really hurt you. Everything you say is a lie. Charles, this is who you are. Please, son.
But was he caught by Spider-Man? No, this is why no one watched to the end. Because Bart keeps rising.
No,
And guess what? No one even cares about Bart.
Green Goblin would get on his weird little surfboard thing and say, but it's like, no,
we don't care.
No, writers, you're all high.
I hate it when people come back from the dead.
Yeah,
it's honestly
it's
the
just
worst.
not my thing. Jesse, bizarre career trajectories. Now, I get that this group of young people were meant to be extremely privileged, but their career trajectories are hilarious. So in season 3, they go to college.
All right,
and
so they
there's-
finished school by then.
Yeah. And
I feel
there's-
like people only liked it when they were at school.
yeah, it was sexier.
Yeah.
And there's a few storylines about like NYU dorm parties and final exams at Columbia and whatever. But the truth is, it is quite boring to show these beautiful people studying and going to class and graduating. So we just forget about college. Like it do a few scenes and then the show's like college is boring.
Yeah.
So we never see like the culmination of all of that. They
Degrees or studying or exams. Yeah.
They just enter the workforce. But they don't enter the workforce in any believable way. Every single member of the main cast who are in their very early 20s reach the top of their respective industries almost immediately.
Is this unrealistic?
I know. Well, after getting an article published in The New Yorker while still a senior in high school,
That has never happened.
Dan becomes a best-selling literary genius before age 21.
All right, you know how there's been all this speculation about the book that's being published by an anonymous author?
Yeah, Gossip Girl said it was about us.
Yeah, it was probably written by some loser who doesn't even know us.
Well, not exactly. I am that loser. I wrote it.
When did he write the book? I don't know. What is the book? Magic. Magic. Chuck goes from owning a burlesque club in high school to running a $1 billion corporation at 19. I guess the death and then resurrection and then death of his father played a role in that. But to inherit a $1 billion company at 19.
Well, I get he did have the burlesque club. That's more than what I owned in year 11.
True. Nate takes over the New York Spectator newspaper, right? He's like an editor. And there is
You
a
would not
scene-
even be allowed to buy anyone a coffee.
Yeah.
At that age.
Yep. And there is a scene where his boss comes up to him and is like, I'm speaking to the new editor-in-chief. You deserve it.
I think her plan will actually work, which means all of Gossip Girl's readers will flock to us. Or rather, to you, Mr. New Editor-in-Chief. Congratulations. You've earned it.
And it's like, Nate just finished high school and he has not finished university.
No, and the little I know from this show, Nate isn't literate.
No.
Nate can't string a sentence together.
Absolutely not.
Is he on the ground? Is he reporting?
Oh,
Does he have an interest area?
Oh, unclear. He just wears suits.
Yeah.
To an office that prints papers. Blair succeeds her mother as head of Waldorf Designs without ever doing literally anything.
Every time I've been to New York, I've seen the Waldorf
Hotel?
Astoria.
The Waldorf.
Is that after Blair?
Okay. No! Blair Waldorf would have been named after that.
Yeah, so that's Blair's hotel.
No!
That's Blair's family owns that hotel.
No. I don't think they actually have any connection. I think it's just a good last name to have used because it means something in New York.
Okay. All right.
Idiot. Hilary Duff. Now, there is a scene from Gossip Girl that has gone viral on TikTok because it is so incredibly cringeworthy. Hilary Duff played Olivia Kate Burke, a recurring character in the 3rd season of Gossip Girl.
That's a pretty well-rounded character if you bothered to give her a middle name.
Yeah, well, she was meant to be a famous actress. But when she first meets Dan, she pays for his cup of coffee because he has forgotten his wallet. And she introduces herself as Kate because she doesn't want to let him know that she is a famous actress. But then she becomes Vanessa's roommate at NYU. And Vanessa is a big fan of...
Remind me who Vanessa is?
Vanessa is Dan's best friend.
Oh, okay.
And she...
Does she have brown hair?
Yeah, I think she goes out with Dan for a little bit.
All right.
And so Vanessa's a big fan of the Endless Nights movie series that Olivia is meant to be famous for.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around the fact that my roommate is Olivia Burke.
And mine's Vanessa Abrams.
And the thing about this show is that every time they introduce a new character, they can't just introduce it in any logical way. That character has to cross paths with everyone in like separate ways before they're really introduced. So it's like she crossed paths with Dan. She crossed paths with Vanessa. Then she's at a cafe with Nate. And Dan is like, hey, that's Olivia. Anyway.
Oh, New York's a small place. I've always said it.
Yeah. Always running into people. So Dan dates her. And in season 3, episode 11, Dan has put on this play.
How does he have time to be in a play when he's writing his novel?
I know. Well, he's so prolific.
And writing for the New Yorker.
He's so prolific that he's doing plays, he's doing books. Jesse, this is Hilary Duff's performance.
Wanna kiss you, but if I do then I might miss you, babe. It's complicated and stupid. Got my ass squeezed by sexy Cupid. Guess he wants to play. I love game, I love game. I love game, I love game, I love game.
I have a few comments.
Yeah.
Firstly, Gossip Girl went full Glee.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see someone else doing something good and you go, we could be Glee. And it's like, no, but you Gossip Girl.
No.
Secondly,
And also Glee isn't good. But yeah,
there is something about when actors have to act like they're acting, they do it badly.
Yes.
So Dan in that, it's like, mate, you're an actor.
Yeah.
Playing an actor. Why is the acting so bad?
Yeah.
It's like they get confused. Similarly, Hilary Duff is a singer playing a singer and she can't
she's
sing.
tone deaf.
Is that what she sounds like?
I hope not. Have you seen that movie she was in, Raise Your Voice? She can sing.
La 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 la.
It was just such a moment in time. Like
There were
Lady
just
Gaga.
people that I was like, oh my God, Mary-Kate Olsen is so talented. And I look back and I go, no, she had a beautiful face.
Absolutely
and Ashley.
beautiful.
But Hilary Duff, I mean, she's singing Lady Gaga a cappella and there's not a note there.
Did we know how bad that was at the time?
I don't think so. Which again, I think that we just thought she was very pretty. And so she could get away with it.
And she was playing a sexy actress.
Yeah.
She can do anything. It is so, so, so bad. It is
Speaking
so
of things
bad.
going viral, have you seen the impersonation of Jenny that has been going
No.
viral on TikTok?
Dad, you can't do this. I want to go to fashion school. I'm not your little girl anymore. I don't want to eat your waffles, Dad. Dad, you can't stop.
Okay, the thing I love about this TikTok is that her eyeliner is honestly like down to the bottom of her nose. And the tone of her voice, and everyone in 2007 to 2010 wanted to go to fashion school.
Dad, I want to go to fashion school. Why did she speak like that? That's exactly how Jenny spoke.
Yeah, she did. And everyone wanted to go to fashion school because they were like, I wear a beret with tartan. I wear a low boot with short shorts and a crop top that says Nautica.
And if that is not fashion,
I simply do not know what is.
No. Everybody wanted it. Jesse, Dan being Gossip Girl. The extent to which this made absolutely no sense even now.
All right. You and I have both written things. And what you need with a plot is a big question, underlying question. And what they've done with Gossip Girl is they started the writer's room and they must have been like, okay, so anonymous Gossip Girl. I don't think they ever intended to
reveal.
resolve that question.
Okay.
Especially when they
obviously.
threw in the first episode, they were like, people won't keep watching. Chuck's a rapist and we're trying to make him like interesting. And then, you know, Bart died and then came back because of the Green Goblin. Like we're taking
By
the
season
piss.
3, they're like, this is terrible. Stop
This is
watching it.
Stop watching this. And then they were like, oh, are you going? And this is what happens with plotty books is I always think, can we pull it off? Because you've created tension. Now, this needs to be a satisfying conclusion. So when it came to who is Gossip Girl, who's it? Like this needs to be very satisfying.
The retroactive fit of who Gossip Girl was going to
Why
be.
did it not make sense?
Oh, God. Okay, so the scene at the end where they reveal that it's Dan and he's sitting in a room with Serena and Nate and everybody's like, oh, my God. Oh, my gosh, it's you.
This is a hell of a thing you pulled off, kid. I'm in awe. I hacked it and stole it from him. That makes me way more awesome.
No, you stole it after I shut it down, and when you started it back up, I just stole it again.
I should have known it was you on the surveillance tape dying, Sammy. You were the only one who wasn't there with us that night.
You're the only one who owns a hoodie.
The one I felt stupid about was graduation when I asked Gossip Girl to meet me and then Dan showed up.
It doesn't make sense because it would mean that Dan has outed himself several times, screwed himself over with gossip, screwed Serena over, who he's meant to love, screwed over his own family, his father, his sister, created chaos for no discernible reason. And the only logic to it, the writers would have had to say, okay, he's a writer. He's a writer. So he started a blog. But how would he have time to be Gossip Girl on top of writing that novel? Oh, sorry. And the extent to which, like, he isn't in the right place. It's like something gets public. He's like he wasn't there. It doesn't make any, like, knowledge that he could not possibly have. So one, they're like, he's a writer. And two, they're like, oh, he turned up as a bit of a fish out of water. So he was looking at the world from the outside. So that's why he started gossiping. But he created a character for himself, like called himself Lonely Boy. And it just doesn't make any sense. Jesse, this is the actor who plays Dan, Penn Badgley, talking about Dan being Gossip Girl.
You know, because it technically doesn't make sense for anybody to be Gossip Girl. For Dan to be Gossip Girl, I mean, I would have loved if there had been a million flashes of every time he looked at his cell phone and was like receiving some blast from Gossip Girl and being blown away by it. Like, oh my God, I can't believe that bitch did that to me. Like, she just revealed that I cheated on my, you know, all those times, that was him acting. Right. When he was alone. So that means he was completely schizophrenic.
Wait. Did he not know that he was Gossip Girl until the end? No! God, no! So that wasn't even informing his acting. Absolutely not.
Make it up as you go.
So there are moments where he gets gossip. He's completely alone.
Yeah.
He
And
gets
he's like-
gossip from himself and is horrified.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just Gossip Girl can be anyone. Gossip Girl can be. So it
Bart,
was,
who's still alive.
Yeah. Green Goblin. It was narrated by Kristen Bell, and she makes like a little cameo in that final montage as they're finding out that it's Dan.
Hey, Upper East Siders, Gossip Girl here, and I have the biggest news ever.
Serena, you're back from boarding school.
Yeah, hi, Blair. So I gotta go.
Come on, Belle, can you just try a little harder?
It's like, make it her and just have her as some weird person who's obsessed with
They
Upper
needed a
East
surprising
Siders.
twist.
Like,
and they did
it is the worst example of getting to a point of tension that you've created, having to resolve
high.
it and resolving it in a truly disappointing, horrific way.
and then walking away.
Yeah. And going, and
You resolve it. No, it can't be
No.
resolved. It
and
can't.
Dan was Gossip Girl. No
All
one
along.
believes it. No one believes it.
No, he wasn't.
And it's actually like retroactively ruined the show. Like to even watch it now.
Oh,
and-
in their defense, there was nothing to ruin. They could just do whatever to the end. And then he went on and became Joe. It kind of makes sense in that, like, he was psychopathic.
He was
The
a
man was
weirdo.
sending gossip texts about himself. Of course.
and reacting to them.
And
in
reacting to them.
private. Jesse, it's time for charges and sentences. Jesse, my charge, and we have had it in the cancel courtroom before, is being entirely unrealistic. All right. Things that were unrealistic about Gossip Girl. The uniforms.
Yeah.
They weren't right. They were not uniforms.
And everyone at our school kept trying to make their uniform sexy like Gossip Girl. And we were there like, my uniform doesn't fit. I have a kilt on. As formally mentioned, the back of my shoe is missing. And I'm not technically allowed to wear my hair out. And when I wear eyeliner, I get handed a makeup wipe and I get in a lot of trouble.
The other things that were unrealistic were the bars, owning a bar, drinking at a bar when you're in high school, not even late high, like you're 16. Sexy Serena, very promiscuous for her age.
Yeah.
For her age. And obviously Dan as Gossip Girl.
Yes.
There were just so many plot lines that did not make sense. And so, Jesse, my sentence is, do you remember a couple of years ago they actually did a Gossip Girl reboot? No, I do not remember
Yeah,
this.
they did a
What,
reboot.
as in with all the same people?
No. It was the same world, new cast. No one watched it. It was terrible.
It's like that time they made the Carrie Diaries
Oh.
and they cast someone with curly hair and I was like, no, absolutely not.
Absolutely
How
not.
dare you, Fox 8?
How dare you?
How dare you?
They tried to be like, it's a new generation of Upper East Siders. No.
But what's
not the
annoying for them
same.
is that sometimes the new generation works.
Mm.
Like Heartbreak High,
Yeah.
that recently worked.
Yep.
I think they tried to do it with Saved by the Bell. They just try and do new generation all the time. It's hit and miss. Throw
It's-
shit at a wall.
yeah.
They threw shit at a wall. The first time it worked. Second time didn't. Well, we still came out on top.
Nothing can be worse than what we did the first time.
yet.
Have you seen that writing? Have you seen it? So, Jessie, what I want, you can do a Gossip Girl reboot, but you owe us something.
Yep.
And that's a more real portrayal of teenagers.
Uh-oh.
And I need things like the teenagers going to the movies.
Yep.
Going 10-pin bowling. Going ice skating. Doing the things that teenagers actually do when you are 14 or 16 and you're making friends.
Having the conversations that you would
Yeah.
actually have.
All the conversations. There was so much
I had
about
in
this
one
show.
of my MSN names, I just put the number 69 in. I didn't know what it meant. I knew it was naughty. Jessie Stevens _69 _ surfs up. I like to 69. I like to surf. Both are untrue. Just a bit of teenage fun.
You always had surfs up.
Yeah.
And you've never, ever
surfed.
been on a surfboard.
No. I've got blonde hair like Serena. I'm a bad girl.
Bad girl.
Serena _Van _Woodson _alcoholic. I was going to do _Midori. It just felt very
yeah,
07.
That was very of
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
Very of the time. But I want a real portrayal of teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
None of this bullshit. And that goes for the families as well, because all the parents were chronically absent.
And look, we're not ordering a drink at 17. We're
Mm-mm.
drinking what we can find in the cupboard.
Mm.
I drank whiskey. I cried. It didn't agree with me. But that was just because I could find it, get my hands on it. Every now and then you got a Smirnoff double black it through you. You vomited and you went, I learnt my lesson. And then the next weekend you tried again.
And you thought it's because it tastes like lemonade.
Yeah. Tricks you.
Yeah.
Vodka cruiser. That's what we're having. We're not ordering anything on the rocks. I don't even know what that means.
Just more of that. I want a completely realistic portrayal of teenagers
Yeah.
and their parents, of the education system, of teachers trying to discipline Serena,
Yes.
who is cutting the tassel off her graduation hat and attaching it as an
You'll be
accessory.
paying for that, Serena. Very, very true. Okay, my charge.
Mhm.
It's actually for one person.
Oh, no.
It's not for the whole show.
Is it Dan?
Well, it's Penn.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a ridiculous name. Is that short for anything?
No, but it is very American.
Penn. Penn.
Mm.
Well, it's for Penn. And it's twofold. For not being able to play an actor who's acting,
Mhm.
which I think should be one of the easier things he's had to do.
Yep.
And the second is for accepting and going with that script. When he got handed that script that said, he was the last line of defense.
Yeah.
What he needed to do was look at it and go,
I'm sorry, no.
this isn't just a little bit of feedback. Feedback is a gift. This doesn't work. And I can't deliver it.
I shan't be saying that line out loud.
Out loud that I'm Gossip Girl. Because I'm not. I'm not. You, that is a last minute decision. You missed your deadline. And what you've done is you've done it in a hurry. You've written your conclusion in a hurry.
Which do I sympathise? Absolutely.
But you've got to do better than this.
But it is humiliating for me to walk down the street and have to confront people who say, you're Gossip Girl. And I say, no, I fucking wasn't.
No, I wasn't. That was one bad episode, okay? So my sentence is similar to yours in that it needs to retroactively be explained. And there are a few actors here who've got some free time because I've not seen Chuck. I don't know what Chuck's up to.
Great point.
But I reckon he's free. Leighton's free. Ever since her Good Girl's Gone Bad.
Yeah. She doesn't have too much on
She
the
doesn't have too much
on the roster. Yeah.
Oh, Nate's got a free 3 years. Nate's not done a thing.
Nate's been waiting for the call.
For the call.
I also think Jenny. Now, the thing about Jenny is that she pursued a music career and then she'd be interviewed and it's like, oh, do you want to do more Gossip Girl? And she's like, no. And she was being all like, bad girl. No, I would never want to do that. I'm Jenny. Like she really believed she was Jenny. But Jenny had gone off the rails and become in a band. a music person.
Well, she should wear eyeliner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how well that's gone for her.
No, it went similarly well as Leighton's career. Although that song was a banger. It really was.
Can we keep playing that in this episode, please?
She won't sue us for copyright.
She needs all the promo.
She needs all the promo. So I think it's a spin-off. Serena can be dead.
Yeah. Too busy.
She would be dead. She's dead in the gutter.
She's doing that Colleen Hoover movie.
Yeah. She's got too many kids. So she's busy and Penn is busy.
Killing people.
Penn, maybe, I don't know, just after being Gossip Girl, he fell off a building as well.
No, he became a serial killer. Now he's in prison.
Oh, yeah. But the rest of them, I think, can carry it on and go, and they can do a bit of a double whammy where it's like, he wasn't really Gossip Girl, which works because of the Bart thing. No, explain it.
Yeah.
That's
Go
what I
on.
need.
Go on. I'm giving you 8 episodes.
To explain
I'll
it.
give you 8 episodes and $1 million to come up with something that makes more fucking sense.
Yeah.
Because what that did to us as a culture, thinking that we can just rush a finale. Absolutely.
The biggest show. How dare you?
It's disgusting behaviour. Disgusting.
It went through too many hands.
I totally agree. I think everybody who worked on Gossip Girl in any capacity
Had
the cast
responsibility to flag it.
and they need to be locked in a room for, say, 8 weeks. Work it out. Work it out. Come on. People are going to the moon. People are doing brain surgery.
Who was Gossip Girl?
People are curing certain types of cancers. You can do this.
There's a generation who need closure,
Yeah.
okay? And you didn't give it to us. Now we have trust issues.
And the good thing is, even though Blake Lively, Penn Badgley are too busy, the thing is we have AI. So we can get them to say or
We
do
can
whatever
get them
we
there.
like.
All we need is Serena slurring
Yeah.
and Penn
killing.
no, Penn writing.
Yeah.
His next novel.
And
Expose
then-
about who Gossip Girl is.
Yeah.
Love
I love it. I love it. That's all we have time for on today's episode of Cancelled. For the receipts, we'll be putting things like the uniforms, like Hilary Duff singing. We'll be putting all of it on the twins_thoughts on Instagram. This episode was produced by Tahli Blackman with audio production by Tom Lyon, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.